Welcome, my friends, to a new interview from Cuentame, USA, with Moncho Camano. Today, I'm speaking with Ian Burns. He's the guitarist and songwriter, also from the New York-based band called uvtv. Uh, I think we're gonna find out about their latest release. The Optimistic Ranch, the EP, came out a couple months ago. uh, Also find out about how they started, and for me it's being a late discovery. uh, Not that long ago I started to follow these people, and they're really cool guys. They do really good music, so that's the reason I have Ian today. So thanks very much for being with me today, Ian. Thanks so much.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thank you.
All right. So question, you guys are originally from Florida, am I correct?
Yeah, so Rose and I met in Florida. I grew up in Florida. Rose grew up in Atlanta and then moved to Florida, but we met, in Gainesville. So yeah,
Okay.
we started the band in Florida.
Gainesville, is that like northern Florida, middle,
Yeah, it's like
southern?
an hour or two north from Orlando.
Hmm.
And
Any
then
yeah. Any decent venues over there? I never been there.
in Gainesville, yeah, I haven't been there in a long time, but when we were growing up there were a lot of good venues.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they had a really cool scene going on. But I'm sure there's stuff. There seems to be stuff
Right.
always going on there. You know.
Hmm. Tell me about, if we go back a little time, time, a bit back in time a bit. Yeah, were you like, were you, let's say, were your parents like fans of any type of music? Were you listening to any music in the house?
My dad actually is a guitar player.
Okay.
He, he listened to a lot of like '80s stuff, like AC/DC
Okay.
and sort of metal adjacent stuff. You know, some hair metal and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, like my first CD was AC/DC Highway to Hell. And so that was like the first thing I listened to on headphones, yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Because
late.
I found the CD and it's
That's like 79 or something. I really don't
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I definitely was like influenced by his stuff.
Yeah. Mm.
And then I just, I think I listened to a lot of like the radio, like the oldies stations. I
Oh.
always liked that stuff. Like
Hmm.
like doo-wop and all that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Right. So that's why the music that the UVTV makes is like going back in recent time with a fresh outlook, I guess. That's why all your influences come from, I don't know, 60s sometimes, I guess 70s, 80s, 90s,
I think
everywhere.
yeah, everywhere really,
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, that's cool. So when you met Rose, were you, I guess you had similar music backgrounds, the two of you enjoy listening to the same type of music?
Yeah, I mean, I met her, she's always been into a lot of like, she likes a lot of things, but at the time, we were both kind of hanging around like punk shows and stuff in Florida. So we
Hmm.
were both coming from there, and then I was doing a band
Right.
that was kind of punk adjacent, but was, sort of post-punky too and dark. And
Hmm.
so I was doing that band, but it started to fizzle out, and then we started, seeing each other at shows and stuff, and then
Hmm.
I think just kind of naturally we were like, oh, she was in a band too, and so that band was breaking up. So the timing was really right, you know. So we were both kind of
Oh.
coming out of projects, and we were kind of open to doing something new.
Hmm. Was
And
it
we were young too, you know. We were
in the late
I
teens?
think we started it in no, I think it was like 23 or
Oh,
22 or
23.
something. Yeah.
Hmm. Was the guitar always your first instrument of choice, or do you play other instruments?
I mean, guitar's always been the main instrument. Um,
Hmm.
I can figure out certain, I can play other instruments pretty much except for drums. Drums I'm no good at.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not. It's not to say I'm great. I can just dabble. You know.
Right,
I
right.
play guitar primarily though.
Right. You really do a good job.
Oh, thank you,
It's
man.
a big
Thank you.
mixture. Sometimes when the first albums, I listen to all the albums that you put out. There's a big difference. Well, not difference, but the first couple albums were like a little more like, I don't know, a little more heavy. It could be, or more like punk. A little, I don't know,
Yeah, definitely more punk.
more
I
punk,
mean,
right?
I think we still manage to have a little bit of punk in everything we do. It'll
Right.
always be there, even if it's not obvious.
Right.
But those records were definitely they're simpler too. A lot of those, the earlier
Yeah.
records. I'd still like them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
I enjoy all of them. Probably the one that I listen the most. Hmm. Well, the optimistic range is the last one. So I've been listening to that EP for the last couple of weeks.
oh, cool.
Yeah, but always something is the one that I listened prior to that, and I really
Yeah,
enjoyed that album. There's a bunch of songs I really kept playing over and over.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like Distant Lullaby. That one I played a lot of times.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, Back to
That one's
Nowhere. I
cool.
played that one. I really enjoyed it. And the latest album is really cool. We'll talk about that. But it's a lot of I know it's a lot of shoegaze. I think, and also
Mhm.
involved in the music. Uh, that's more like 90s. I don't know, like slow dive and stuff. Uh,
In
but
the last one you said?
no, no, well, not in the last one. And always something. There are like parts, like little, little melodies that
Yeah,
has.
yeah, yeah.
It's like it's like a mixture of, like cooking. You put a little this, a bit of that, and you make a nice stew, I guess.
Yeah, right, definitely.
Yeah, so it comes out really good. So, and you guys live in New York, but that happened not that long ago, a couple years back. That's when you moved. Why did you move
Yeah.
to New York? Just to,
I mean, we've been in New York. It's funny because we started in Florida, but really, I think we've been a band longer in New York at this point.
hmm,
Um, yeah, so we've been doing the band in New York for like, before COVID, maybe 6 years.
okay.
We've been a band in New York, So I definitely think that we feel more like a New York band than a
Hmm,
Florida band at this point.
hmm.
Um,
You
but
live in,
it, sorry.
no, I was gonna say you live in Queens, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Rose and I live in Ridgewood.
Oh,
And then actually most of them live in Ridgewood, basically. We could split hairs if it's Brooklyn or, or Queens where they live, but
right,
that's
right.
another story.
Yeah, it's a cool area. I think I've been there not that long
Yeah, it's
ago.
nice. It's
It's a
nice.
nice area.
Quiet.
Yeah. Hmm. I was going to ask you also about the lineup changes because you guys went through a couple of them, always evolving into making progress, I guess, still developing great music. Your latest, the latest addition, I guess, is the drummer, no? Also,
No,
Ian Rose.
yeah, Ian Rose drummed on the last record too. So Ian's been in the
Okay.
band for a long time.
Hmm.
He was the drum. Is the drummer and was played drums on Always Something.
Hmm.
And then yeah, the newest member would be Noah Deemer. He
Right.
plays
Keys.
keys and then he plays guitar too.
Right. And you also, I remember that reading, I think saw a couple of videos of you guys playing in the UK in 2022.
Yeah,
A-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
We did a big
you had
tour.
a female guitarist also, right? Grace, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Our friend Grace,
She,
she played guitar.
what
Yeah.
was she involved in the latest CP or no? She's not.
No, no, she wasn't. I think she travels a lot, so it was hard
Hmm.
to kind of
Right.
and then New York, you have to work so fast. It's hard to schedules don't line up all the time and stuff. We're still friends and everything, but she didn't play on the last record.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There is also the latest video is it's very funny. It really it's the optimistic range video they just put out a couple days ago.
Yeah, Rose really, that's all Rose. I
It's
can't take
really
any
good.
credit.
Her
I filmed it, but
You weren't.
Other than that, she edited it and did all the stop motion and everything, and it's incredible. I'm super
Yeah,
proud
I
of her.
really enjoyed it. And
Yeah, it's so
her
so good.
sister also appears of it is in the video, right? Claire is her name, I think.
Yeah, Claire,
Twin sister,
Claire.
the twin sister, I think it is.
Yeah, they're twins.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they're
were
cool.
both on the shoot. Claire, yeah, Claire was in the video, and it was cool to see them collaborate in that way. I think they've been wanting to do something like that for a long time. So I think it was really cool.
Is it the first time they ever do something together, like relating
I
to
think
your band?
yeah, yeah, and related to the band for sure.
That's cool.
She played in bands too. Her
Oh, she
sister,
did. Okay.
yeah, she doesn't. She used to drum in a few bands and stuff.
Hmm.
So they have a musical relationship, but they never. I don't think they've ever collaborated in that sort of
Okay.
way.
Yeah. Another thing I just read is that your EP, the Optimistic Range,
Hmm.
it was named by Stereogum over the one of the 25 best EPs of the year.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
really
cool. How
cool.
do you
That was
feel about
cool.
that? That was cool, right?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, I'm happy they they
They
thought that
recognize it.
they
Yeah.
recognize it. Yeah, that's cool. Um, yeah, no, it's I mean it's there's a lot of music, so when you get to when people
Yeah.
recognize you in that way, that's cool.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot
true.
of great music coming out. So
Yeah. And you are on Paper Cup Music. Is that your label?
yeah, I mean it's they put out the last two records, so
Hmm.
we were working with them for those two records, and then this record we released with them, and then we also um, released it through our label, No Nonfiction, and so we handled all the vinyl and stuff, and I think that's something that we'll be doing in the future um, for for releasing music.
Hmm.
Or we'll probably make the label more active
That's
coming
cool.
out. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, I was gonna say regarding your process of creating new pieces of music, is it more like a free-form style improvisation or more like using like fixed elements, like with a set of like a structure, following like a song structure, like melody and harmony and all that?
In terms of writing music,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean there's no certain way. I mean, I think we've in the past there's always been like I'll come up with a thing. I usually write on the guitar, and
Hmm.
so I would bring like an idea to rehearsal, and then we've written songs like that. I've also demoed things fully out. I think going forward we're gonna be um, you know make working with samples a lot more,
Hmm.
and not focusing too much on songs that are for the guitar and stuff like that. I want to experiment with
Hmm.
loops and samples
Right.
going forward. I think the EP was kind of like a even though it's not exactly what I'm talking about, but it was the first adventure into that world because we did use samples and
Hmm.
um, yeah, and I was demoing with loops for a lot of that stuff.
Hmm. It's interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, really interesting. Do you have I only seen you play. I don't know if you had. How many guitars do you have? Not, electric guitar, not acoustic. How many guitars do you have in your
Uh,
possession? Are you a collector of guitars or?
I have a lot of guitars, but
Yeah, I had the feeling that you
uh,
had.
I think I have how many guitars do I have? I have in the house right now four, and then I keep a couple at the studio. I think I
Oh,
have like
like
seven guitars, maybe not eight, nine guitars, something like that.
yeah.
Some
But
I've got three really nice ones that I like the most.
do your guitar skills translate well into all the instruments? So you have, you know, that's do they all sound cool to you? Like, or some of them are harder to play, or I don't know, they got their own character, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they ultimately I think they all do different things, and I think some songs want certain guitars more than other songs.
Are you more
Um,
aggressive? I mean, playing some than others, like more
yeah,
easygoing with others. Yeah.
yeah, there's I mean there's certain characteristics of certain guitars. Like if I'm going into a project or a song, I think about the guitar I want to use, you know.
Mm, mm.
It's 90% of the time it ends up being this one guitar, and
Hmm.
and then I feel kind of silly because I have nine guitars
So,
that I.
so when you go play live at a show, how many guitars do you carry? Just a bunch
Oh,
of them,
just
just in case?
just one,
Just one. Okay.
just one, just one. You can't. I'm not one of these guys who brings all this gear to the gig. I'll bring
Right.
my own amp and a guitar and some pedals and stuff, but you know,
Right. Yeah.
and
How
even less gear. I'm getting older, so I don't like carrying around as much stuff
too
anymore.
much?
When I was younger, I used to do things like that, but you
Yeah.
know.
That's a car. How long does it take you then? It takes every time it takes less time for you to set up everything.
I
It's
could get set up in 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'd probably have to tune, so then that takes about 5 minutes. So give me 10 minutes and we could rock.
You can rock.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about composing songs. What is the hardest part for you to write a song? Just the start. The start is the hardest thing. Just to start the writing. Just to have something to talk about.
I mean, it's not songs are different. You know, some come really easily. Like some I've written one of the songs on the record, Dust. It's the second song.
Mm-hmm.
That song took 5 minutes to write. You know, some songs like that are kind of magical where they just come. You get all the lyrics, you have the melody, you figure out all the pieces very quickly, and then other songs just feel like they'll never be finished. You know. So I think
Mm-hmm.
like overall, just I'm grateful when I get even like a spark of an idea because I think you go through these periods, or at least I do, where the it feels like the ideas aren't coming. You feel
Right.
stuck,
Right.
and then you have to kind of go looking for the songs in a way, and you can't be too eager because like the
Right.
songs kind of know when you want the song too bad, they're like they don't want to
They don't
give
want.
themselves to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
If
just
you
depends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends. If you have like a big argument with someone, after that, do you feel like writing anything or no? Like an argument, any kind of argument with somebody, does it make you feel
No,
like writing
no,
anything? Like,
no, not really.
not really. That's
I
not
mean,
really.
maybe if I get in an argument, I want to play guitar just to so I don't have to think about the
Yeah.
situation. But
Okay.
I don't feel inspired
Okay.
by
So what about your guitar playing? Do you practice a lot? Is something that you could practice for a long time, or everyday thing, or once in a while?
I play every day.
Every day?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it practice.
Mm.
It's not as organized as practice, but it's continual playing,
Do you
I mean,
record everything? Do you record everything you play?
I should, but I don't. I'm kind of lazy in that way, because
Hmm.
but then I like the idea of playing for yourself too.
Hmm.
If I think I'm coming onto an idea that's really good, I'll take out my phone and record on my phone. I have a
Hmm.
little home studio in my apartment
Hmm.
where I can demo things and stuff, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, it just depends on the on the playing. A lot of the time I'm just trying to
Hmm.
find ideas.
Yep. Do you have any like recordings that you go back to see if there is something that you missed or something that maybe you like or you wanna extend or I don't know, like change something?
Yeah, I have. So I have a bunch of tapes.
Hmm.
When I got into recording, I started
Hmm.
on these tapes. It was even when I started, there wasn't even digital wasn't even that great yet,
Hmm.
So like tape was actually a viable thing, and so I have all these old tapes which I've referenced and found things that I liked.
Right, right.
Um, so I do reference past recordings. I think it's cool. I like the tapes too because then I forget what's on them and then I don't have any like bias towards them. It's like
Right.
listening to them for the first time, especially when I haven't listened to some of those tapes for
Right. You probably forget what
years. Yeah, you forget.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
kind of a cool feeling.
Are you also into like music history, like investigate or try to gain some reference about guitar playing and how it evolved throughout the years and things like that? I know the guitar sounds and are you
Yeah,
into?
yeah. I mean, my life is very, very guitar focused right now. I actually work at a guitar store that
Oh,
own,
you do?
yeah, I
Okay.
work at a guitar store, and so it's all vintage guitars, and so then so I learn about the history through my through my job, and then but then
Hmm.
I love music documentaries. I read a lot of music biographies and stuff. I like the history a lot.
You like it? Yeah.
More often I'm looking or researching and that kind of thing. The past, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're the type of guy that does that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like a lot of the history. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see like the connections between what's happening now and stuff. It's
Yeah.
nice to be able to reference that stuff.
Yeah. Do you ever thought like you wanted to play a different style of music? I mean, I want to play the blues or something, or never thought
I
of?
mean, all the time, yeah. I don't like getting stuck in one style. I mean, if I was good enough, wish I could play classical music, you know,
Yeah.
classical guitar.
Hmm.
Um, but I listen to a bunch of different music, so I don't, I just don't. I like rock and roll, but I don't listen to a ton of it all the time. And
Hmm.
so I like it's fun to mix things up, like like on the song from the record, the Optimistic Wrench.
Right.
It was kind of this like we thought of it as this like loungy song, but then we subverted it with punk, and then it comes out like this rock and roll thing. But I felt like we were trying to mix genres, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
or like
There's
take influence from some of that stuff, you know.
yeah, even like surf rock. I don't know. It sounds like
Yeah,
sometimes it sounds
yeah,
like the late 60s. I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's like hard to always to
yeah.
say
It's in
what
a
it's
lot
all
of
about.
ways. It could get overcomplicated.
Yeah, it's
At the end,
complicated.
it's rock and roll, right?
Yeah, it's rock and roll. I imagine you doing like a cool solo, but for some reason, maybe they're not in the best plans for the band to insert the solo. Thinking like you're playing something really cool, but it's not doesn't go with the type of music you're making. So you said I cannot do this. Or, I don't know. Is that
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I mean, I don't think there should be. I don't like rules.
yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
think with art, if even if it's a bad idea, it's worth trying. You know,
yeah, yeah,
because you never know. You have breakthroughs and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, you should take art should take risks
yeah.
ultimately. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been following your band for the last couple of months. I have no idea about the band. Usually I have no idea about anything. But when I when I listen, I think, I listened to the Optimistic Range. I don't know where it came across. I don't know how. And I was surprised. I usually don't listen to lately to a lot of like uh once you get into some style of music like dark wave, I keep listening to dark wave,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
it's something like, and then you get tired of it, and then you try to look for something else, and I think that's how I came across your music. It's like
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
so it's like it's really it's a cool EP. I wish
Yeah.
sometimes I wish it was longer, so it wouldn't be an EP anyway. It would be like when you write, when you do you think about like write thinking about writing for an LP, EP, or it doesn't matter? You just write songs and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think with at least with this last one, I think we didn't, like the problem with LPs is that how much work they take.
Right.
And a lot of the time it takes a lot of resources and stuff. So we we had an EP is just easier to put out, and it's like an easier thing to sell, or not sell,
Right.
but like
Right.
promote. And so we just were like, let's do this and then see where we're at,
Right.
post this release.
Hmm.
um yeah, because again, we've been doing the group for so long. It's like
Yeah.
it felt like we wanted to change the sound of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It did change a lot when
yeah,
I went back and listened to the other albums, especially like the Go Away EP. Uh,
Yeah.
that
It's
was
like,
like really punk energy over there on that.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's I like it. I really do. I enjoy it. Are you the the guy that checks Spotify to see who's streaming your music?
No, I'm not the guy. Rose
The,
does all the behind the scenes stuff.
all the social
I'm
media and stuff?
yeah, I'm not really I'm not really that, I'm not on there like that. Like on the social media and stuff.
Yeah, she's in charge of those responsibilities, I guess. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I guess for you it feels like overwhelming, Sometimes you gotta be always like 24/7 checking stuff out and
yeah, and it's
headache.
like, it's just a lot of I already have a job, and so for me, like it takes a lot of work, so I have like respect for people who
Right.
do that, have to do that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I think like to me that's like not that fun. So like
Right.
writing the songs and recording the music's like where I focus my energy. But it
Okay.
works because then we all kind of contribute in different ways. I think bands when they're that are the most efficient when they can have
Right.
everyone's doing something for the
Mm.
band.
Do you hang out together with the other members often, or it's just
Yeah,
you?
all the time. They're all like great friends of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
living not close to each other then?
Yeah. We all live within 15 to 25 minutes of each other.
Oh, really? So that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
close. We're close.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you. When I listen to your music or any other bands that have relating, the type of music genre, for me it feels, I don't know, it's like the bands that making music for introverted people. I don't know if that's correct what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
The
Uh
the music.
our music?
Yeah, it's like more for introverted for people that I don't know. Not your
Huh.
music, but even like shoegaze or I don't know. I have no. It seems
Yeah, I
like
mean, I think no, I think I understand the
you know what I'm
sentiment.
saying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we don't if it does feel that way, I don't think that it's not by design.
Hmm.
I think like uh I think that every single song has like its own little world, so like a song like The Optimistic Wrench could, people
Right.
said it was surfy and stuff. It could be played
Of course.
at
Yeah.
a party, and I think it would
Yeah.
work in that environment.
Yeah.
Um, but then, you play a song like Stunned and Graceless, and that to me feels really personal and maybe introspective, like you were saying,
Yeah.
because it's just Rose's voice and the piano,
Right.
and so that could be really introspective. So I think, we kind of have a lot of different moods on the records a lot
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah. It's just a lot of melancholic, moody, but sometimes also, with extra level of heaviness, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there is a song that listen. It's very moody. What is it? Is it
Bloom,
Plume?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one.
Mm. Yeah, that
That
one's
one.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, that one's like moody, but then Back to Nowhere was kind of like the fun single, the rocking single and stuff. So I think we do that a lot, where we
Yeah.
combine a bunch of different atmospheres, different moods.
Yeah, different mood. Because if you only listen to the Optimistic Range song, it's like you think you wouldn't think that you do other songs. You think there's a happy band that they just do happy
Yeah, right.
songs, you know?
And I think we like to keep it fresh, and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not uh rest, rest on our laurels or anything like that.
yeah,
I think we just keep it interesting for ourselves, for our own entertainment. You know what I mean?
yeah. So tell me about now. What are you thinking next? What's coming after this EP? It came out a couple months ago. The
Yeah,
the the
yeah,
year is just almost done. I guess
yeah. It's
we
done.
got is a couple parties left and celebrate. I
Right.
don't I don't know. Are we going to celebrate? I don't know. There's not much to celebrate for next year. Not for me. I don't think. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just
I
try
don't
to
know.
stay positive despite
Yeah,
how
yeah,
heavy things can feel. I think um, what's next for the band. I think
yeah.
we're gonna probably start working on some more music.
Mm.
Um, we're definitely going to start working on some more music. I think we're going to start writing in the studio a lot, using the MPC and samples and this kind of thing. And it'll still have guitars, it'll still have fuzzy guitars, and it'll still rock, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just a different flavor of that. And and so yeah, we'll start working on music and try to play more shows in New York. We would love to do some touring dates,
Of
um,
course.
you know, but just getting the logistics figured out and stuff like that.
Will you come
Um,
across the river? It ain't that far.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's easy. It would be nice
It's easier, right? You
to
just
go a
go through
little
the
bit
tunnel,
further than Jersey.
go through the
You
tunnel or
know?
the Washington Bridge or whatever you want to do. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would be fun to see you guys play. Well, I could go to New York. It ain't that far either. It's
No,
the
for
same
sure. That's
distance.
the thing.
It's
Yeah,
the same distance for me or you. It's the same. I guess I
it's
could
a
see
little.
you now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I'll stay in the back. I don't want to be seen. I'll just pretend that.
yeah. Be cool back there. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
feel.
play cool.
Yeah, I hope to see you some. And also, I was going to ask, maybe next time we can have Rose. Maybe she can
Yeah, yeah. She was.
be around.
She would. She definitely love to do this. She's the. You know, it's so close to the holidays that everyone's it's out of town. I decided to stay in New York.
You did. You're by
I kind of like.
yourself. You got a lot of time to practice then.
Yeah, yeah. I like New York
I
and like around Christmas time when everyone leaves, it's fun.
I
You
like New
know?
York also.
Yeah, it's nice.
They can say whatever they want about New York, but for me, I really enjoy it. Especially when I
Yeah,
was younger. Like now I cannot. It's 10 p.m. I gotta go to bed. Not like before.
yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
I get old. I get
No,
tired
no,
soon.
me too.
I get tired soon. Uh, so, I, I was gonna ask you. You got no plans for any live shows this for next year yet, right? You're still trying to.
We have one that we haven't
Find it.
announced.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we're playing a show in February, the beginning of February. I can't
Okay.
remember
Hmm.
the date off the top of my head,
Hmm.
but we'll be playing at this venue called Cassette in
Hmm.
Ridgewood. So we'll
Oh,
be playing around the corner
around the
basically.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll be playing a show and then but other than that we're just kind of keeping
Hmm.
it open, you know.
Is will you enjoy going back to Europe if you had the chance again?
I want to go so bad, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
If we could get like some really some decent shows and stuff and get something together. It would be nice to play some festivals because
Of
they have
course.
these really nice festivals out there.
Of
So
course.
I would love to do something like that. I mean, I think we would probably jump at something like that before we,
Hmm.
you know, it's just they treat you really well out there too. It's the thing. It's like they put you up in a hotel
Of
and they feed
course.
you and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss it. I miss it. I can't.
You went to where did you play? You play in the UK, but did you play any other countries besides the
Yeah, we
UK?
played in Italy and
Belgium was
France.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Belgium and Germany.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what else? That was about it. We played it was a good tour though. It was like a month, you know.
Yeah.
And then we started in Europe and then went over to the UK and kind of
Yeah.
came back. It was really nice. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. That would be a good thing to go
I'd
back
like
to.
to go to I'd like to go to Spain. That's
Of
where I'd like,
course.
yeah, that's where I
That,
want to go next.
well, if you ever go to Spain, let me know because I go every year. You can stay at my
Yeah.
house. You can stay at my house.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, that'd be
That'll
great.
be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Now you got a bigger repertoire of songs. When you play live, do you play usually from the last album or you is a mix of
It's a mix. Yeah,
yeah?
it's a mix. And then yeah, so we'll mix things up and we play like probably half and half. I mean, we play the whole record now because it's shorter and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a mix.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you regarding because you said you work in a store. Do you borrow any instruments from the store?
Yeah, yeah. So I borrow stuff. For the record, I borrowed a bunch of stuff, some old Gibsons and these kinds of things.
That's cool to
Um
have. All
Yeah,
right.
it's cool. I mean, I have a lot of stuff too, so it's um, but it's a really nice you know, it's kind of a luxury that I could do that.
Of course, you are in the
Yeah,
right spot.
yeah, yeah. It's cool.
Yeah. You really enjoy what you're doing. You enjoy doing playing music, and your extra the other job is related to music. So what else could it be?
Yeah, life's good right now.
It's good, right? You look
Yeah,
happy.
that's my friend.
You look
That's not
happy.
bad.
You look very optimistic to me.
Yeah, we're wearily optimistic. Wearily optimistic, as
Yeah.
they say. Yeah.
So I really enjoy it. I just wanna if you go to the I guess Rose is in charge of social media, but if you go to
Hmm.
I guess I found them on I think Instagram. That's where I check what they just to make sure that if there is anything going on with them.
Yeah.
But and I guess YouTube. But if you wanna buy their albums, I guess you could go to their website. You got a website.
Yeah, yeah. It's uvtv.com or uvtv.band.
Yeah.
But if you look up UVTV, the Optimistic Grinch, I'm sure you could find a
Oh
place to
yeah.
buy it.
Bandcamp.
You could buy it from us, from the label, whatever. It's out there.
It's out there. I've been listening to Spotify. How can I say? Maybe I
Yeah, do
should.
you listen to vinyl and all that stuff? Do you?
I have vinyl, but to tell you the truth, yeah, I have a lot of vinyl, but not here in the States.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
It's hard
took
to
a
move with that stuff.
I took my a big container with shit to Spain because I moved to
Yeah.
Spain like years ago. I decided to
Uh,
go back. So I took a big container and everything I had I took over there. But when I
yeah,
came back, I couldn't bring it in my luggage and my suitcases, all of that. So
yeah.
most of it, I just every time I go, I bring shit back.
Right, right.
So but I collect a lot of vinyl, even cassette CDs. I got a bunch of shit that I
Yeah,
don't
that's
even.
cool.
So every time I go, I'm like picking stuff. Should I pick this? Maybe not. Maybe let me this time I'll grab this the other time. But I was a crazy. I don't play any instruments, Ian. I
Mhm.
try. I used to play guitar when I was long time ago, but I used to
Yeah.
play soccer a lot. So
Oh, cool.
I fell down one time. I broke my wrist and stuff,
Yeah.
and after that I couldn't play anymore. So I
Yeah.
left it. So
Yeah. I'm sorry. That stinks.
yeah, so yeah, that's how it goes. But
Well, it's good to be a fan of music too.
yeah, in the 80s, I was like crazy going to. I always lived in New Jersey, but I go to New York, spend my paycheck buying records.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would go to see all the shows in New York and
for
come back
sure.
with empty pockets to Jersey, and I was doing
Yeah.
that for weeks and weeks, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, that's how it goes. But that's why I keep, interviewing. I cannot play, but at least I can talk to people that really know how to play and they do music that I enjoy listening to. So,
For
Ian.
sure. It's great.
So UVTV is my new band.
Yeah, man.
So I'm gonna follow these people for a while. I know they're going nowhere, so they'll be playing and making
Yeah.
music, right?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Yeah. So just I guess if you believe what you're doing, just keep doing it, I guess, right? Is that why they say?
Yeah, I mean, I think do things for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanna wish you all the best to the band and see you next year, I guess. See
Yeah.
if I have the chance to see you one of your
Yeah,
live
yeah, yeah.
shows.
We'll have it all post we have like a flyer and everything we're working on. So we'll start promoting it's just, the end of the year. We haven't started promoting anything. So and I'm
Oh.
sure we'll be super busy. I know I really want to start playing a lot and stuff like that. You
You
know.
you enjoy playing live more than doing a studio, right? That's what
I like them both,
both.
it changes. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I'll really want to just play live,
Hmm.
and then sometimes I just want to like be in the studio. We built the studio, so now we have this really nice studio, and
Oh, okay.
so now I like both.
Hmm.
But the thing with playing live is that it's just you have to a lot of logistics and stuff, so you have to kind of
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
But I definitely want to start playing more. You know.
are you very talkative during your live shows? Do you talk between songs, or you just play your set and then you talk
Ooh.
later?
I think we kind of, we 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 don't talk between every song because I just, as a fan, when I see bands and the person and the singer talks and gives you the whole song and tells you what it's about, I kind of get
Right.
a little restless.
Yeah. Do they ask you like, what is this song about? And do you feel?
Yeah, and sometimes uh
Yeah.
you may have lost, like, you don't even remember what the song's about or
Yeah, that's what I was
anymore.
gonna
The
say.
feeling has moved on
Yeah, yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
So sometimes people look for meaning in things that I don't think are there. But
yeah,
I for us we try to keep things moving, you know,
yeah, yeah.
and have the energy continue to go. But we do say um things to the audience. It just it depends on the show,
Right, right, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
the energy of the show, you
Right,
know.
right. Every show is different, and the audience is different every time, also. So
Yeah, and I'm
depends.
different every time, It's like
Yeah, if you had a good day or a bad
I go
day, or
out, I ate something before the show, and then I don't feel,
yeah.
like things. My mood depends too,
So your music, the music changes also.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's
Right?
true.
If you wanna listen to the same music over and over, just listen to the album. It won't be any different. But when you play
Yeah,
live, it's all different.
yeah, yeah. We try to change things up. We don't play it the same as the album, you know.
Right.
Sometimes, yeah, we kind of like to play songs slower, play songs faster, and change
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tempos and stuff, the keys and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. Oh, I th I think we got a lot of thing in common. I think you have the same ways of thinking, I guess. We could be good friends, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
not,
man.
right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. So thanks, Ian. I really appreciate it. I thanks for showing up,
No
and
worries, man.
see you next time if we have a chance.
Yeah,
Somewhere,
yeah, yeah,
somewhere.
for sure, man.
All
Jose,
right.
happy New
Ha-
Year.
Same to you.
Yeah,
Say
happy
hi
holidays.
to the band, and
Thanks to everyone for watching this.
and good health.
Yeah, and good health, everyone.
See
All
you.
right,
See you
bye.
next week. Take
Yeah,
care.
man.
Sepia skies where the pendulum